Let's try that again. Hello. I'm back for more Disco Elysium tonight. More weird conversations, more strange investigations. I think we might have finally got that guy down. We'll see all about that at some point. And things to talk about too, you know? Like this European Super League football league, you know? Chelsea and Manchester City, of course, have just pulled out of that, so they've lost a couple of the teams that they were hoping for. And there's just so many things wrong with the whole situation, you know? And maybe we'll cover that a little bit as we're playing the game, just when we have a lull in things. Maybe we'll discuss that a bit. And has the verdict been returned yet? I need to find out. Has the verdict been returned in the George Floyd case? Has there been a verdict? They said there would be a verdict by about 9:30, I think. It doesn't look like it's happened. A lot of people believe it will be. But so far I don't think there's an answer yet. We'll keep an eye on that as well, because I'm interested to see how that goes. I hope they see sense, personally. I hope they see sense. But yeah, we're going to play Disco Elysium. And we're going to do some other stuff too, as I say, as we get around to it. I've got some questions about that European Super League and how it's kind of going to affect things. Mostly around players, to be honest. And how they're going to be kind of forced to no longer play for their national side. I'm sure that breaches some sort of contract regulations, right? Let's find out. Let's maybe discuss that as we'll drop in. But for now, let's go over to Disco Elysium. Let's just turn the music back up because we want the game music to be heard, and the speech, of course. Let's put this background music off. A little disco selection from Epidemic Sound. And let's get on with it. Let's remind ourselves what's going on. I need to keep an eye out for that verdict as well, though. I really want to find out what they do, what they say. Hope things go the right way. If anyone has a problem with that, well, who cares? Let's play a bit of Disco Elysium. So last time out, we chatted to the guy that was in charge of the harbour or whatever. In charge of the union at the harbour, and he said he'd get that big guy to lift the guy down out of the tree for us. We also found out who did it, and it sounds like we're not going to get much joy out of that, I don't think. So let's go out of here. I think we have to go out. Do we have to go out the way we came in, or can we go out the regular way now? Past that guy. Wait, let's see. Oh no, just go this way. Oh yeah, because this is the way out anyway, so yeah. Let's go through this door up here. Come on. So yeah, no, I was looking at that. I was thinking about that whole thing with the European, that European Super League, and thinking there's a lot of players who'll be forced to no longer play for their national teams. Will they want to do that? You know, and if they don't want to do that, well, what does that mean for that league? It surely means they'd have to sign a whole lot of new players. And what kind of players would they get? They'd get players who either can't play for their national side, players who've, oh, the dark liquid looks almost sentient, players who have retired from international football, who aren't concerned about not being able to play in national tournaments again, perhaps. And if you're in a league that isn't sanctioned and that you're not going to win anything in, anything particularly useful, what's that? You know, are you going to? Are the games going to be any good? What's this? King Frisell.
Of the late King Frisell, from the
Frisell.
Head,
Frisell.
white antlers spread to
King
the
Frisell.
cover.
White antlers. Why
Because
him?
Frisell was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the
Ah,
embodiment of everything the commandants
satire.
wished to overthrow.
But yeah,
Its satire.
so I don't know how that's going to pan out. To be honest, I get a feeling that it's probably not going
To
to
your disappointment,
pass
there aren't
muster.
any full-color pictures.
I think it's
to
probably going to
direct
collapse
your
fairly
attention.
soon.
Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
Especially now that a lot of the national
No advertisements, you notice. So who's
leagues have
funding
said that
this
they're going to
radical
boot them out.
commentary?
Yeah, who is funding
After
it?
rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections.
Kunst und
International
Kultur.
developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns.
Local concerns.
Just inside the cover, there's also.
See, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen.
This journal takes its name from
if it does, I don't think it's going to be what they think it's going to be.
Describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But like the structures of
we're listening to a discussion about political ideology right now.
At risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many
à la fumée,
are
well,
content
up in
to
flames,
feed their readers reassuring
up in
drivel.
smoke.
La
Sorry.
Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Well, that's what you have to do, right? That's what journalism should do. Only 4 issues in, sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
Perhaps they've overestimated.
But that's the point, isn't it? I mean,
market demand for
journalism
this
should
kind of
be
commentary.
where you question it. You don't just toe the line as
So
such.
please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on
to say,
contemporary
tell what's
politics,
true.
culture, and international affairs, please consider
It's a
subscribing.
pity that a lot of organisations didn't realise that.
Struggle, the editors.
This is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the
Oh, it's probably
Union.
he thinks it's the
They're
union that are
probably
bankrolling the whole thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds.
So what we're going to
before
see,
you.
I'm reading a magazine right now in the game. This is the good life. Eh?
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
Yeah.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
Okay. I
Face
see.
it, you really are.
We're really not interested in the foreign affairs.
You're not even
But we
sure
should be.
where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Let's have a look at this one.
The table of contents unfolds before you.
What's this one
It
about?
takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you.
Arts and
that
culture.
Kunst und Kultur must
Did he just say
mean arts
Kunst
and culture.
and culture? I think he pronounced that wrong. Why they decided to title this one section in Valder? I assume that's the language. That's what the equivalent of German
Obviously,
in this
it's
kind of.
cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. It evokes a sense of recognition.
So yeah, it's
and
kind of
fellowship
bringing up a.
among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through
Oh,
this section,
there's something
you come across
breaking.
several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist.
Oh, the jury are in the courtroom right now.
featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top
Tourney.
A Critical Mazovian Perspective.
What's this CS profile?
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief
Q&A.
made all the briefer by the subject's evident
Well.
hostility to her interviewer.
Guilty. Good on them. What is this tip-top tourney?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has
That's what we
something
wanted to see.
do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow
All
it,
the
you only
all the
ever
kind
hear
of
about the
commentary by
ludicrous
arseholes and all the
and
rest of that sort of
obscene
stuff,
death
trying
toll.
to paint the guy in a bad light. You know, thankfully, the jury saw right through it, and that officer is going to prison for what he did, as he
You
should.
think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the
Yes.
politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
What's wrong with it?
Where to even start? For one,
So yeah,
there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
I hate to see it. You know, imagine what a lot of commentary online is going to be about that verdict. But the correct verdict was returned, as far as I'm concerned. Who wrote all this?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada
No matter what he did,
no
matter if he did
There's
anything
no
wrong,
way
the criminal
those
punishment
are
for
real
what they claim
names.
he did, it was not death. So, you know, they got what they deserved there.
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus?
It shouldn't
Come
be
on,
death at any
they're
point in time, to
plainly
be quite honest.
pseudonyms.
Not so bad about sponsorship.
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced
Yeah, well,
to
that
an
is Formula
advertising
One, isn't it? You know, when you think about like Formula One,
Thus,
that's
the
what that is,
so-called
sponsorship.
tournée becomes a competition between
Is that what this is
increasingly
about?
meaningless brand signifiers.
Oh, it's
Your
discount.
discount laundry detergent racing against a pack
Yeah,
of
that's-
Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Yeah, but normally,
And that
normally in
precisely
Formula
is
One, it's
what's
cigarette
problematic about it.
manufacturers.
Were it
Not so
for the
much
promise
anymore,
of
though.
random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of
Even,
the
you know, a lot of
day,
these
the destruction
sponsorships,
of
like
these
what was it? There was one at Better
750,000
Tomorrow,
real
which was
races
actually
that you're
was that
really
Imperial? I
watching
can't remember.
for.
It was one of the tobacco companies, as a way to get round the fact that a lot of countries, obviously didn't allow tobacco advertising, and also Mission Winnow, obviously famously, that won't be allowed either. I'm pretty sure I like it for the racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
Yeah.
It's the stilted language and overconfident
They like
tone.
to see the cars go
That's the
boom.
real giveaway here.
We don't like to see that.
You're
We
almost
don't like to see
certainly
that.
reading a recycled university
And there's some
essay,
serious
one that could probably use some edits.
accidents that have happened in the last couple of years, haven't there? Still language overconfident. Recycled university essay. Can't believe someone actually
The
published
magazine
this.
stares back at you defiantly. It's pretty sure you just don't get it.
Yeah. This article says no one watches this for the
Come
races.
on. Can this article read your mind?
It
A
seems to
certain
think
kind
so.
of young man reads one or two books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of
Yeah,
reality.
pretty much.
If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor.
This guy likes his
Yes, a
cars,
motor
so
race.
he
I take
wants
whatever
the...
they write with a large grain of salt.
He
You flip back
disagrees.
to the front of the magazine. The table of
Do we want to
contents
look at local
unfolds
concerns?
before you.
Let's have a look.
Unsurprisingly, much of this
That-
section is
the
taken
wa-
up
the
with
strike,
articles declaring
support for it.
unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines.
Yeah, some
Paint
people
the
are going to
harbour
say, by
red
the
and
way,
white.
oh, we don't want your opinion. Well,
Martinez
don't
tames the
listen to them.
wild pines. A city in revolt. First,
don't need
we take
yours.
Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief
That's how
article
that works,
by
right?
the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist
Okay.
tenants simply for not
I mean,
having
if
paid
they did it with
their
all the
rent.
tenants, that's not so much of an issue, but
According to these
yeah,
editorials,
it would be nice
there
if they
can
could
be
reach
no
a reasonable
with
accommodation.
the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition.
That's where we go. Mucilaginous. Do you know, that's not a word you hear very often. I heard it yesterday watching an episode of Star Trek Voyager, and now I've read it today in this game. Isn't it funny how
Why
sometimes
do
you
communists
hear
love
words and then
puerile
suddenly,
insults?
like, you know, that you don't
And
hear
they
very
wonder
often,
why they're always being left
and suddenly
out in the cold.
the word's everywhere. I don't
You
know.
flip back to the front of the magazine.
Anyway, that's the
table of
magazine.
contents unfolds before you.
Let's pop that magazine away. What else do we have here to interact with?
An intricate web of blue
This is just
lines
looking at the guy's
stretches
tattoos.
across
I think
the
we looked at
torso,
this already.
The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it
What's
for
the
you
meaning?
to discover.
Yeah, we need help to work that out. So let's put the photo away just now. We've looked at all the interactive items. So let's see what else is in here. There were some other things we could open before we move on.
On second glance,
It's unfortunate for the Union to just...
let's see what's inside. The
Open the
drawer
drawer.
opens smoothly. Inside is
Oh god, we have to look through a lot of folders.
Brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing
Logistical data. Ah, okay.
Two kinds of transactions stand out.
But we can learn some
Materials
stuff about the
coming
union,
into
about this
Rivashore
union.
from the outside world, from Muindi, Grog,
Perhaps
and even
learn a wee bit about
Benova.
what's going on with this union.
And the same materials being handed over to companies.
Oh god,
inside
anything.
Rivashore.
We're looking at
Pluto,
documents right now.
Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are
I want
listed
to
among the many
understand
districts
the
where
lore of the
imports are
world,
being
you
sold.
know?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company
Oh,
names,
looks like I can get
dates,
something.
quantities, and percentages. You try to focus,
So yeah,
but the
okay.
lines are getting blurry.
We can force ourselves to go through the folders. See if we succeed.
Whatever's hidden
We did.
here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it.
Okay.
However, there is a little handwritten note
Ooh.
stuck on the side of the
What does
drawer.
it say?
It appears to be a to-do list written
Okay.
in large, uneven.
It's not like in
letters.
bits of magazine or something, is it?
Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht,
Whirling
water
borscht.
Everard's plants, sweep office floor,
And more banners.
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
A to-do note with a list of
One of
errands
his
for
aides
Everard.
must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The
Yeah.
special borscht seems a bit odd in the
Yeah,
list.
special borscht.
Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes. All items on the list have been the drawer.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Shut.
That's interesting. I don't know what it means, but it's interesting. What's this? A piece of clothing? Oh no, a postcard. Very nice. Got some stuff in the bathroom. So we'll just grab all the bits and pieces that are lying around. We can get money, we can get medicines. You know, we can get lots of things that might be useful. Oh, some neat office shades. Boosts my visual calculus by 1, but drops my drama. Did I have glasses on? Logic. Do I want logic or visual calculus? Which is more important? I think either's probably about the same, really, isn't it? I think they're both important. And logic 5, visual calculus 5. So yeah, it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. Our logic would drop to 4 if we put that on, so we'll maybe just not. There's that one. That's the stairs back up. Looks like we're done in here. Yep. Let's move on. Da 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 da. So we're going to speak to, what's his name? What was his name again? Level? No, not Levelhead. Something head. I can't remember what his name is. Measurehead, that's his name. Let's have a chat to him.
Your race descent has only worsened
don't want to do that.
since the last.
How's it? Alright.
You have
Everett
really
told you to help us get the
so
body.
It was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior.
He'll lift the body down with his bare
Give me
hands.
orders. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
Please do.
You're
Thank you.
so noble, Measurehead.
He is.
But while I am
While I'm gone,
someone must stand
I have to guard the bridge.
That someone needs to be you.
Okay.
Babe, see that they stay
No worries,
here
we'll
the
stay
whole
right
time.
here. So now we have to stand aside. We have to stand guarding the door. Can we actually do anything, or is it just going to be us standing here the whole time?
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So,
Okay.
you guys are like cops or something? Look at him.
Yeah, there we go.
His
Let's have a chat.
metric perfection. Are you cops or what?
Apparently so.
Ooh, I like men with guns and power.
Yeah, but we don't have any.
By the way,
We've only got one gun, and apparently we don't have any power here.
You
So
hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
he's pulled the bloody tree down, hasn't he?
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops!
There we
Guarding
go.
that bridge like
The RCM's
Babylon's
for sale,
lapdogs.
no.
Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Spoken by a mercenary, pretending
Yeah.
to be a worker.
I'll work with whoever I want. I think that's as good a good enough
Shrill
answer.
laughter interrupts you, echoing across
Kuno.
the maze. It's Kuno. Then the man turns to look behind him at
Oh.
the behemoth appearing.
Uh-oh,
around
Measurehead's
the
on his way back.
approaching him, walking past him.
Does he attack him? No, he's too scared to attack him. Here he comes. He's got the body down for us.
The corpse has
Funny he
been
didn't say
removed
anything.
from the tree. Stand down and congratulate
Yeah.
yourself.
I
You
haven't.
sided with Ray's victory today.
Been no side choosing.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last.
He really doesn't like these guys.
In
He
addition,
doesn't like anybody.
these so-called Hardy boys,
You pick
Yeah, I
up
don't
on
need to hear
something
that.
artificial in his tone,
An
like he's
act.
putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
More to it. What have we got against them?
fine. They
Nailed
have
it.
recently
Look.
fallen under the influence of a
It sounds like-
sexually perverted
It sounds like people
female
might not be too
vagabond
happy about these guys
and
being part of this whole drug
It's
dealing thing here.
Find out for yourself.
Well, we already know.
Endomorphic
He's called me an endomorphic blob. That's nice.
Interesting.
Alright, bye for now. I don't care about the... I'm not going to discuss the whole thing about his boss or anything like that. It's just not really relevant. Alright, get down the stairs then. Let's get where we're going. Get going. Let's go and have a look. The body will be out of the tree now. Oh, do you know what? We could sell all this stuff we've got in this plastic bag, actually. Let's go do that. Let's go into this freak shop. Oh wait, is there more in here? Oh no, but there's some medicine in there. Oh. We'll go and sell all these things we've got in this plastic bag, and get some cash for trash. Cash for trash. Surprised nobody's ever thought of calling it that before, you know? Cash for trash.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says,
Yeah,
your
there's my
bottles
bottles.
plunk into the machine.
Money gained,
Money appears
1
with a satisfying
real.
jingle.
So that's
You're
10
a
items.
richer man now.
Yeah, good. I can afford 2 nights in the hotel. But we're going to have to start looking for more money soon. I could have taken that guy's money in the place, but I didn't really want to. I felt like taking a bribe from the union leader guy was probably not a good idea. So now we have more evidence that those guys were involved in. Let's chat to him first, see what he's got to say for himself.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely
He
fucked
wrecked
the
the tree.
to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
The K word? Oh, that's the... yeah, okay. I'm not going to use that one, thanks. Stop using that, it
Can't
belongs in
tell
the
Kuno
past.
What words to use? Fucking kipped.
He really likes to be just nasty, doesn't he?
Fuck you. Kuno says kipped if he wants to. Kuno's dad says.
Oh, his
kipped all
dad
the
says
time.
it.
Kipped's a cool word.
So because his dad says it, it's okay for him to say it.
Kipped, kipped, kippity, kipty, kip.
Shut the fuck up.
Kippity, kip, 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 kip.
It's like a little engine has come alive.
Is
on the
that
other side of the fence.
that's that other
Engine
kid
that
just
only
follows
says,
along, right?
"Kipped."
Gift. Alright, shut it down, see.
Oh, I
The
wish we
court
could
has
do that
business to
one.
do.
We can't do it now, obviously.
So?
He said to thank you. He wasn't too keen on chasing down the armor anyway.
Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Uh,
sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent
yeah,
me to
look.
rough
Now
you
now he's not so.
Kuno
The
played it,
bravado's
that
not so much
happened.
there, is it?
Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
What
Whatever,
is
kid.
this? Trying to be cool with your new asshole? Kuno was just being nice to you. You got fucked bad. Now limp the fuck out of here.
Alright,
After
fair
this
enough,
shit,
pal.
You better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Oh no, I'm so bothered about
Real interesting.
Kuno not wanting to talk to me.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Suddenly, he's not quite so. He's not quite so happy. Are they going to
The
leave?
corpse lies
Oh, that'd
on
be
the
great.
ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch.
Yeah,
It's gently laid on one side.
it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job.
Nothing's too broken.
Too broken or compromised. The victim is
Isn't
ready
it?
for a field autopsy.
Field autopsy.
One,
Because he'll do
investigation of the scene.
initial checks,
2,
right?
initial examination of the victim. 3, field autopsy. 4,
Wait.
transportation of the body to the morgue.
We've obviously got to find
We
a
are number
way
3.
to get these guys arrested. So somehow turn the Union against them, maybe.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene.
I don't know.
processing
What's the
The fuck are they on about?
outcome of that at the end?
Cut his shit up.
Don't we have someone else to cut
It's
him
not
open?
about cutting. And no, you and I
I think
are
this is just an
detectives.
external
The
kind
honorary
of
rank of detective signifies
external
our ability
look.
to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to
honorary
cleanup
rank.
to social work.
Honorary
An honor
rank?
and a burden
Honor and a burden.
attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able.
Hmm.
Usually after
Well.
5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is
So, like-
lieutenant detective.
Fantastic. Sorry, I'm just looking at that story again. It's fantastic that the right decision was made. It really is. There was no other decision would have made sense as far as I'm concerned. What are we looking at? So the only other thing I was looking at was the football, which is pretty relevant beside that, you know. But it's a landmark. A landmark case, and good on them. We'll see what happens from here. Right, honorary rank. Yes, I feel
You
like a
are.
detective.
Your station
I mean,
would
we
not
have
be
been
sent on
investigating
this
stuff,
case if you
so
weren't. Now,
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
takes a deep breath. What exactly is a field autopsy then?
come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is.
Is
You've
it an
done a
autopsy
hundred of
that
them.
you do in the field?
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers,
I don't know if this is
dormant
particularly
shield
helpful.
volcano Corpus Mundi is the world's highest summit.
Okay.
And the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Yeah. Actually, it appears I've forgotten. Let's get in there.
Truly is a time for everything,
Oh
even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically.
yeah, because
I
I've been wearing
suggest
them all this
you
time.
Get in there in limited capacity.
Alright,
I'll ask you when I need you to.
okay.
For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes.
Okay, where should I take the notes?
In your paperwork, officer, just fill out
I
the
don't
field
have it.
autopsy form.
Imagine expecting me to have my paperwork.
Officer, what haven't you lost?
Haven't lost my shirt.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, probably.
I can give you my paperwork. There's an
There we
autopsy
go.
form there.
Okay.
Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along.
Okay, let's work off yours for now then.
The autopsy form is near the end.
Okay.
You find a moment as
Hmm?
the lieutenant inspects the dead man's fingernails. Just a few glances.
So,
The pages are filled with a bulky freehand that's nearly illegible. You're probably imagining it.
Those
The
notes are
notes
hard to
very
decipher.
hard to decipher at a glance, so don't draw
He's
any
writing things
conclusions
like
from
that so
this.
that if I...
But it's not a glowing review, sorry to say. The 41st, as you're referred to,
Comes across as less than
somewhat
competent.
less than competent. It's not explicitly stated that the lieutenant
He's writing
doesn't
nasty
trust you.
things about me?
There's just nothing positive in there. That's not good. Trust among officers is extremely important.
Yeah.
If you don't improve
We've
your
got to
rapport,
improve our rapport
there
with
could be
that
consequences
Kitsuragi.
down the line.
What?
The dead
I've got
man
the
stares
form.
in
I've got the form, it's fine.
As you crack open the ledger, the bright red paper is covered in boxes.
Okay,
and
so we have to
lists
mark off all this
describing
stuff.
the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
Can I quickly do this before we continue with that? I've got a skill point to spend. I kind of want to... Can I improve this? Or is that it? With regard to that, that's all you can do, right? However, we can we unlock one of these? Yeah, spend a skill point to unlock another slot. Which of these do we want? Resolving socioeconomics. I'll take my perception away. Jamais vu. Let's internalize that just to see what that's all about. And then let's keep going.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first.
Okay.
It begins with
Assistant.
It's you.
the corpse.
Right,
in
Harry
different
Dubois, but is that my
blue
name?
stripings, just lies there. The next box says
Coroner's case number.
KK57
Oh, okay, there we go.
dash 0803.
Just reading the number. Name.
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely.
Yeah, it'll have to do
Better
for
than
now.
nothing. Write it down.
Yeah, okay.
What's next? Date of birth?
Unknown. NA isn't the right answer. Not applicable. Unknown, surely. Age.
Roughly 50.
About 50, okay.
dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
Right, around 42.
Elos,
Mondial.
There we go.
fair to olive skin.
Okay.
From the Isola.
From
of
Mundi.
This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Possibly, yeah.
The
I'll write it
pudginess
down.
of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor
It doesn't look like anything.
other.
Fucky, fucky!
Oh, shut up. Bloody kid. Just laughing because he said the word sex.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Fucking fuck. Let's just write
Nor
male.
does he look male, with his pregnant belly
Yeah, well.
and indistinguishable face.
Date of
We're
death,
still going with March 4th.
as far as
51.
we know, March 4th,
What else?
51.
9. Body identified by is non-applicable.
Not applicable?
10. Case number.
It was identified by that woman, wasn't it?
Case.
Okay.
KK 57 0503
Yeah, okay.
08
One box left.
15.
Evidence of treatment.
Listens, motionless.
None. At least not after the initial
Okay.
examination.
I agree. Lividity pointed to lynching.
Then again, the right lividity is easy to
Yeah,
produce. if
but
you
do
know
these
it.
guys know what they're doing?
We should start the post-mortem.
The
Okay.
corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest.
He's doing a
It no
post-mortem.
longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A
Lovely.
thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper.
Okay, so now we have to go
tries
through his
answer why.
proper examination.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs.
Our boots and white
The
briefs.
make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think.
Is that important?
Let's see.
What brand are his pants? Is that important?
See, it's happening.
Oh, for God's sake! Look, they're thinking he's gonna do things to him.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M.
Why did the brand of his pants
White.
matter?
The disappointment is palpable.
He was expecting something
The
else
red-haired
entirely. Of
thing
course he was, because he's a
expecting
fucking
something
idiot.
more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers.
Of course.
In order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers
And,
are in search
you know,
of the
why
missing
not?
pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
I mean, we'd need to try and find the pieces, but it's very unlikely we're going to.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself,
Do I want to
as
keep
he
the
walked
boots?
in,
Are
you
the
have
boots...
deserved them more than anyone else.
Yeah, okay, let's
Boat
omit the
has a
boots and
serial
see what
number.
happens.
It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
To make them harder to...
Tattoos.
Okay. Wait, I wrote it down. Tattoos, yeah.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern.
What national
It
pattern?
reaches
Do
from
we
the
know?
right shoulder to the heart. The ink is
Is that a
blue and white.
Mondial national pattern?
The assistant has a color photograph of the markings
Yeah.
to be added to the case files as
It will.
document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a triggered mini. The
He's
deceased
quick
has
to
a belt
boast
for
about
airlifting
what branded
cargo
goods
around
he's
his
got.
neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3
So he's just
meters.
going through
There
everything
is a
that's
buckle on the other end. Well nourished,
Yep.
athletically built.
well
measuring
nourished.
1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42.
Ah, okay, so I said around 42.
Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is
Okay.
consistent with age. The deceased had male
Hair comb
pattern
back,
baldness.
short.
Hair is combed back, short.
That would touch his hair. Now, let's just
Lividity
write that
is
down.
consistent with
I don't think we
anger.
need to touch his hair,
The
that's
head is
weird.
congested. Contusions are
Head's
present on the
congested?
head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem.
By this
Low
kid here,
velocity.
Kuno.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was.
Yeah, but
fucking
see, in
mad.
comparison to them being launched out of a bloody catapult or a cannon or something, it's relatively slow.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp,
Bite
and chest,
marks.
consistent with predation.
Write it down.
Ligature mark.
They're not high velocity, you'd have holes in them if they were high velocity. So he's got a ligature mark. Once they take off the...
The steel wiring. There's too much of it.
Can't get the...
We need to,
They need to
remove
take the belt
so
off.
we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Good thing we got these chain
Always good
cutters.
to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt.
Now
to
let's
see
cut the
ligature
belt.
mark below.
Hmm.
Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, no, we're not going to do
No,
that.
he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Look for a good spot
The
to
belt
cut then.
is equally tight around the whole
I don't think I can
circumference
succeed
of
at this,
neck,
look.
swelling
can't try
over
it
the
again if I
edges
fail.
Like white bread rising from the east.
I can't do it. If I fail, then that's it.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
No, I'm
Concentrate on
not.
the
Get
pig,
lost.
Not on who is whose pig. There is
Yeah, there is
pig.
no... You're right.
There are only the chain cutters.
I'm going to fail at this. There's no way I'm going to succeed at this role. But if I don't do it, I can't go on. I can't come out of it either.
You jam
And
the
it's a
cutters
failure.
right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh.
I think.
Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck that faggot.
No.
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have.
Okay, let him do it.
he
Let him
sinks
do it.
the
If he can get it
cutters
off,
into the knot,
that's a better
preparing
idea.
to perform the cuts with his elbow
I think
to
that's
his knee
probably a better
for
option
precision.
than me trying to do it.
Snap. The knot is slashed.
Yeah, much
Another
better.
cut, and the belt falls
Obviously,
apart
he was
like
gonna
a
do it if I
flower
failed.
bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck.
So if we'd
and
gone
the
more
dark red
physical,
ligature mark
we might have been
around
able to do that.
Here.
Yeah, thankfully. There's a gap in
The
the...
rope rises to a point. leaving
Alright,
a
okay, so
gap
where
in the
it
ligature
comes
mark.
together, presumably it couldn't
Suspension
be
point
pulled
is in the
flat.
back of the neck, on the nape.
Yeah.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a
So,
point
yeah, from
1
there.
or 1.5 meters.
So they've kind of lifted him up, probably on a ladder of some kind, and then just dropped him.
Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
Oh, what's he doing?
No!
Now it's gonna happen, he thinks. It's not gonna happen.
Fucking knew it.
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began.
What are they?
The lieutenant is trying to make
They're
it as
trying to stare
boring
at the
as possible.
guy's bits, you know?
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death?
Your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Just write down that we request an
just to
analysis.
see if there was anything like that.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion
Obviously
on the
not.
subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Yeah, he has both of those things.
Back
I'll write
is
that down.
symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical.
Right.
There are combat injuries on the right hand.
All right. Okay,
thigh,
because he's
and
yeah.
hip. In addition,
'Cause he's
I
seen
see
battle,
small
a lot of
residual
it.
scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe
All right.
more
So it's old
decades,
wounds.
dispersal and
Very old
accumulation
wounds.
indicates long and active combat duty.
This is extensive, way more than a law official.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars.
Yeah, he's fought a lot.
Last item. Hands.
Hands. I'll just
Hands
let
are
him
clean.
work. He didn't want
No
me to
sign
touch
for
anything.
recent struggle.
Were we
I
expecting any?
was. Maybe I'm just not seeing
But
that.
if he was drunk
Honestly, this
and
tense is
overpowered,
making it hard for me to think at the moment.
if he was drunk and overpowered, he might not have had time to
That's
fight back.
all for the external.
Okay.
Well done. What next?
I mean, he's already feels like he's going to throw up, and we've got to do an internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous
What?
system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A
Moral to the
this
story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained
Is this
excitement
important?
to hear the moral of his story.
Brain is vulnerable to compromises in
I think
its
that may
blood
well be the moral
supply.
of every story, officer.
I'll write not
Good.
applicable.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from
That's
the
not an
mouth.
internal
Not
examination.
injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes
What's he doing?
almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand
Ugh.
on the dead man's throat
Didn't need to know
and
that.
begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the
Nasty.
mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips.
I mean, if he was almost going to vomit before, surely he's going to now.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers
Ugh.
inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old
Nasty.
house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
No, that's not what he's doing. Bloody hell.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is
Jeez.
intact. Unremarkable.
These, can we get rid of these two, please?
Respiratory system.
They're horrible. Yeah. What
Oral
about it?
cavity shows no lesions.
What else is he going
The
to do
victim
here?
has received a dental implant.
He's going to do something that they're going to get excited by, probably.
Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Okay.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the
Ugh.
darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air.
I feel like I'm
unlike
going to...
anything
Let's
living.
not look
You feel
deeper.
like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Let's just write it down.
NA.
Why don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
No. I
Neither
don't think
am I.
so.
Same
Okay.
for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. We already have one test as per regulation.
So they only...
We already requested
They,
semen.
okay, so they're having a
Keep
test.
requesting semen like it's no big
Shut up.
deal.
He needs to
I'm
mind his
not
own
even
business.
interested in these boring milk puss anymore. I haven't sucked him off for anything.
No, and we're not going to either.
At a request, then, we'll know if drugs or
Yeah, let's do
cardiovascular.
toxicology.
The body
That'll tell us if
exhibits
you've been
heavy
drinking.
lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck.
I don't think it matters
Hypostasis
about the
is
other
visually
thing.
consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
Oh no. He's looking around at the shite on the
This
ground.
water.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Let's admit,
What's
voila.
next on the list?
Description
see.
of the injuries.
We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest,
Yeah.
and a ligature mark encircling the neck.
What about the
we
injuries
need 3
we've
fields.
inflicted?
Leave a 4th one too. Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay, I inflicted,
so
okay.
there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters.
I agree, the waters are muddy
See?
enough.
These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks?
Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries.
So he's been bitten by
Predation by birds has
so
caused
birds,
damage
you
to the
think?
body.
Okay.
Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
We don't need an ornithologist to
Your
tell us.
opinion, officer?
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
The scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head
Alright, so he's
injury.
been hit in the head.
A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene
So
has
they did
confessed
it
to causing it post-mortem.
afterwards as well.
At maximum velocity, fucko.
Sharp.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
His maximum velocity, yeah.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man.
Yeah.
Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
So again, non-fatal post-mortem.
Next.
The ligature
dark red
mark
abraded ligature mark
is obviously, I would
encircling the
imagine,
neck,
the fatal
with a
wound.
gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin
Okay.
above and below the ligature mark.
That's
Depth of
1
the
centimeter
nape,
deep.
1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait.
2
to
customary
protect
boxes, and we know which this is.
That's it.
Fatal
We have
injury.
established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But
Well,
it's-
we've also established who did it.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
What now?
Now we put him in a body bag, and I drive him to Faubourg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at
Uh-oh.
the dead man one more time, then at his notebook, then
We need those
at the
boots.
corpse again. He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure
can't
we
search
didn't
him.
get everything. There's
Ah.
always something.
Search him thoroughly. It's not gonna
You run
pass
your
that.
hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more.
Let's do this just to hear what kind of comment they have.
He pulled down his breeches. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Just because they're gonna
The
react
penis
to this,
has
probably.
shrunk, crawling halfway back.
Let's crawl
inside
back
him.
in.
There is nothing mysterious or noteworthy here.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Oh,
Do you
shut
think
up,
we
mate.
missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
I've got a feeling there's
Okay,
more.
Well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where can
It
we
would
find
have
a
to
fridge?
be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the
Mhm.
feed store down at the gates. If they don't know,
Then we have to speak to him.
but only if all
Do we
else
do we
fails.
need the boots?
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
Do we want the boots? I
Only
don't
if
think
all
we do.
else fails.
Careful. Okay.
Mhm. This is one task we cannot sideline. With
Alright,
every
so we
hour,
have to go
whatever
straight
we're
away.
looking for will become harder to find.
We have to go straight away to find storage for the guy's body. So let's go, first of all, as I said, to Gart in the Whirling and Rags. And there we go. It's not turned to summer yet, so we can't go in the other door. Obviously it's not going to. Shouldn't have to say that, really, should I? Right, let's go chat to our pal Gart. And I say pal, I use that word very loosely.
Can I help you? Yes, yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead corpse into my fridge, right?
Well, I was thinking I could try and put a living corpse into your fridge, but I don't think that's possible.
Well, I have a fridge, and you're not putting it here.
Why?
Because this is a culinary establishment, not a mall.
I mean, to be fair,
I
that.
believe you even asked me.
It would only be for
Lieutenant, you too?
Yeah, we need
You're
somewhere to
asking
store it.
too? No, the answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus.
Maybe somebody has a lorry that's refrigerated.
Let's go talk to the freight clerk.
She's never going to let us put a corpse in her fridge. If he won't let us do it, there's no way that the person in that store is going to let us. surely. Just no way. How would she... Do we have to like exert pressure to get her to do it? Is that what's going to be the case? There's not a refrigerated truck here, no? No. There's not. Just like it's like... It'd be like Dexter or something. The killer going around in the refrigerated truck. Right. What do you think the chances of her letting us do it are?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Does Freet have a warehouse in the back of Whirling and Rags?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't
really
care. What it does.
Maybe.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse.
It's a little
Just
back
a little
room.
back room here. Okay.
Can I have a look at it? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right behind you.
You're right. This is a
Yeah.
fridge. I need to store a corpse there.
You're joking, right? Okay.
It wouldn't even fit.
Even fit, you know.
Probably,
Now
you're
that
probably
I'm
right.
looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store.
Yeah,
isn't
probably
the
not a
best
great place to
storing
store a body, really. But it would have been so
I
beautiful.
don't know.
Okay, so we can't put the body in there. Does that mean we got to speak to bloody... But he doesn't have somewhere to store a body, does he? I don't think he had anywhere to store a body. As far as I'm aware. We need some kind of refrigeration unit to store him in. Right, what are the options here? Ask the Whirling, Frit, or maybe Kuno. Is he really going to be any help to us? I feel like that's a really bad idea. But I don't really see anywhere else that we could put him. So let's do it. Let's have this conversation that he suggested we have. I need somewhere to hide a body. Store a body.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I don't know. You haven't heard what I've got to say yet.
For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
Really, where is it?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno?
Bacon Man.
What's the return on Kuno's investment?
A corpse-free yard.
Everything Kuno needs. All civics and shit.
He doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, he's
Talking
got no
about
fucking
civics
idea.
and shit didn't make this any easier.
You can't buy Kuno, pig. Kuno's already got everything.
I'll repay you for this information one day.
Kuno's clock's not doing shit. Kuno's got a fuckload of time.
Yeah, but I don't.
Kuno. He just wants to use your fridge.
Convince him to spill the beans. I shouldn't have done the civic pride thing.
By killing in
Oh,
his
but we
territory,
succeeded.
someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his
No, there we
best
go. We'll just say that
interest
to
put them in their place. A dark flame smolders
Uh,
in Kuno's eyes as he ponders.
He's gonna be
the
angry.
argument.
He's gonna
Wordless,
see
like
what we're saying.
kings do.
His fate's in your hands. Let's make an example of him.
Alright, Kuno hears ya. See that shit house over there?
Shit house. Okay. Collapsed building with a bookstore.
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus there,
Uh-huh.
casting a shadow on you.
Yeah, I
gotta
see it.
get
One
in
behind
that
you.
shit. In there, deep.
And how do I get in?
Through the bookstore. You
Through the
gotta beg
bookstore.
book bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the door.
Oh, she's never gonna let me in.
Book bitch changed that. Kuno doesn't beg, so Kuno doesn't go there anymore. Yeah.
Beg the
book
woman in
bitch,
the bookstore.
beg her. You stupid or something?
He means
We
the
have to
bookstore.
ask.
We have to ask.
Plaisance. Yeah, we've been in there,
Plaisance
and
is the mother of the
I
little
don't
girl
think she
peddling
likes
books on
us
the
very
plaza.
much.
We have to ask Plaisance in the store.
Impressive note-keeping, Lieutenant.
See?
Yeah, it's good that he
Clark
kept the
gets it.
notes.
Listen to your four-eyed friend.
Okay, fine.
Check the fucking
I
basement.
have to go into the
pig.
basement.
Don't you know anything?
Here, is she going to be happy
Always
about us
check the fucking
carting a body
basement,
through there into
recon
the basement?
style. There's a giant fridge down there.
A giant
Fucking
fridge.
will fit, no problem. It looks like a white bear or some shit.
A white bear?
Try not to piss yourself when you see it.
A white bear? A polar bear?
You didn't hear
A
it from
fridge that
Kuno,
looks like a
pig.
polar bear?
But don't forget where you heard it from.
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
Okay, well I'm out of
Kuno
here.
doesn't fucking care.
Good. I don't either. So now we've got to go to the bookstore and we've got to convince the lady in the bookstore to let us into the basement after we opened her curtains that she didn't want opened. Let me just see something. Will she talk to us anymore?
Hello again, sir.
Okay, well her mum hasn't told us we're not allowed in or anything. So maybe that's a good thing. Possibly. Who knows? I doubt it, to be honest. I think I wouldn't be entirely surprised if she kicked us out.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and
You really need
Biographies
to
of
change
Famous
the
People.
name of this bookshop, by the way. So there's a huge fridge.
No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books?
No,
For
I'm interested
whatever
in...
reason, she's lying to you about the
Yeah.
fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar.
Farewell for now. I'm going in here. Don't mind me. I mean, I've already done it once, so... So we need to bust this door
heavy
open.
door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of
Break down the door.
ceremonious trinkets and charms.
We
It
succeeded.
appears to be locked.
Oh, no we didn't. We succeeded in barging into the door. I think he's broken his shoulder.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear
That didn't
on the door
work.
frame. It's going to take one more try to
Oh,
break
God.
through to the other side. But you've done it.
Well, let's just use one of them because it's only going to recover
You're
one
not
health
thinking
anyway.
of trying again, are you?
Let's just smash into the door. Fuck, it hurts. Freeze, dirtbags. I'm gonna just barge the door down. She's not gonna be very happy because now we've definitely let out whatever this curse is that she's concerned about. Oh look, it's somebody's gym. Sand's dripping from a punch bag. Yeah, we've got that on the floor, whatever that is. A shot put ball, okay. Poster said Citius Fortis. Worn out wall bars, and we've got some weights. Is he going to try and lift?
A barbell lies on the floor. The colour has
You
worn
really
off
shouldn't
its
try
weight
this if you
plates.
don't know what weight they are.
It's 60 kilograms.
Oh, it's
Your
60
triceps
kilograms.
hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast.
Show what kind of
it's
beast is dealing with what?
There are no collars on the barbell. This
Yeah,
is a
let's not
safety
do
hazard.
this.
Why does it feel so familiar?
Is it familiar because I'm a weightlifter? Look, there's absolutely no way. Look, Kim, it's a
You're right.
trap.
The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Kind of
It
bastard,
would be a
remove the
violation of
collars.
EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't.
Oh, okay.
No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Yeah. It's not familiar because he's a weightlifter, let's be honest. Right, so what's this? Where's this fridge that he was telling us about? Oh, there's more here. Always blocked by window panes and debris. Or debris. Is it in here? There doesn't appear to be a fridge in here. Where's this fridge that he was telling us about? Well, we can't get to that, whatever that is. Is there anything else in here? There's not a fridge down here. Can you rotate the camera at all? Or am I just in this one view? Because it looks like there's nowhere else I can go, to be honest.
It's dark.
Let's talk to him.
And the flashlight works a lot. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the...
Oh yeah, I have a light.
Now let's get to it.
That's a good point. I have a light that I've completely forgotten about. Let's replace the plastic bag, because that's not going to be much use to me right now. Or maybe this helps in some other way then. Okay, so now he said it was like a polar bear. He said a white bear, which obviously would be a polar bear, I guess. Wild animals stare at me in the dark, stuffed and mounted. So some kind of taxidermist used to be here. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. Yeah, we have to go this way to look at what's over there. Open these drawers. Money. No one's going to be missing that. Naked mannequin torso. Just the kind of thing you need. Blue velvet. Blue velvet. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Skis with slipstream printed on them. It's exciting. Steel rotor blades again with a slipstream logo. Got a filament memory worth 10 reals. That'll be a useful thing for us. So is this where the fridge is? What's this?
Your flashlight slides over
Chalkboard.
an old green chalkboard.
It's got an elf, look.
Scrolls, sketches, and
It's an elf.
like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make
It's like
out
some kind of ancient
sections here
elf
and there.
creature.
Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
What are the
These
drawings?
lithe, pointy-eared creatures
Oh,
appear to be different
Velkins.
types of welkins.
Welkins.
You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
It looks like he's got a sword in his hand, to be honest. Welkins.
Translucent
So presumably
organs
that's the
with
equivalent
organs
of
shining
elves in
under their
this.
skin, and even
Oh yeah, because
organs
organs shining under the skin.
hailing
There's
from the
other
vast
suggestion that
emptiness
elves
of
all in
sidereal
some
space.
mythology that elves have like translucent skin or near translucent skin.
Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should
Probably.
adopt one of those Wilkins as your persona.
No, but
No longer
then I
a
wouldn't be
mere
a real
man,
thing.
But a Welkin. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different.
This is
however.
very important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin.
Oh,
His face white and scarred
sounds
like cracked
exciting.
marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin
Is there somebody going to be
races
hiding
will
in
be
here
purged.
that's going to attack us?
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men,
Everyone.
all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only
It's
with
going
Welkin,
very Lord of the Rings all of a
Green
sudden.
Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time.
Presumably that's the equivalent of
little welking creatures.
what? Forest elves, dark elves, and high elves. Why would they? One of them's a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary.
Yeah.
That one has a great beard too.
No. This has been educational.
Just
Let's
look
move
at
on
the
from
details.
Welkins.
So much effort.
And for what?
Welkins.
All gone.
What are the
The photo
photographs?
collage depicts barren, icy landscapes.
So it's like
wrapped
a-
in perpetual night. You
Is-
see
is this guy
permafrost and glacial
some sort of
landforms, dead trees grown in
metal
under the
fan
snow.
from the sort of black metal side of things.
Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore.
I do like a bit of metal,
There
but
are
I've never really
pictures
got
of
into that
settlements on dried
genre.
up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see,
And to be honest,
primitive
a lot of people that
oileries
like it
built
don't like
into
people getting
glaciers,
interested in it
boreal
anyway.
twarg, yurts under the snow.
Too
great
many people
mammoth
liking it is a
beasts
problem
of
for them.
burden.
That's why a lot of their logos are like completely indecipherable. Apparently, I remember hearing that from somebody. It was a way to try and detract as many people from enjoying from getting involved in the music as possible. They would make these logos that were totally indecipherable, masses of twirls and twists and stuff. So it's one genre I've never really got interested in. Most others fine, but yeah, just as well as some of the other things that they
A pinned postcard reads,
enjoy.
The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes
The Wirral?
untethered from its sun,
The Wirral?
drifting through the universe.
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year.
Some people
50.
say schedule. You can
Cryptic
say that
words
too if you
like
want.
sprint, daily minimi, and GPI
Cryptic words like
span the
sprint.
marker-drawn
I
grid,
suppose for him,
the
right?
grand
Sprint
scheme
would
of
be a cryptic
production
word. What does that
and
mean?
money. It looks a bit like
Project
Academic
Dread.
calendar, only much more brutal.
Brutal. Is that like a Nathan
stands
Explosion
for a
brutal, is it?
mini meeting.
Can't
It's
recommend
part of a bigger
Metalocalypse enough.
framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
We're spending an awful lot of time reading.
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow.
Well, that's
rarer
what that's
and
could be
rarer.
quite interesting in the
The
game, you know,
board
just
becomes
reading all
an
the
empty
stuff.
snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Oh, new skill point.
A note in the bottom left corner of the
See the
chalkboard
prod.
says,
That's
"See the
production
prod
schedule.
filament for details."
What
The
about the notes?
handwriting is only partly
I can
legible,
barely read
but
it.
you can still make out three
Call in,
slogans.
tune out.
Call in, tune out. Wirral Untethered. And
Turn on, tune
Heat
in.
Death of the Universe.
Death of
The full
universe.
text reads,
Heat Death of the Universe is the new black.
Is the new black.
Is it now?
Another note says,
Just want to
the
check
biggest
something. Sorry, I
advancement
just...
in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Okay. I just wanted to check something quickly. Okay, so that's all the notes that we've seen there. What else do we have here? There was a thing that we could pick up before we go to what I assume is the fridge door. Oh no, it's not. What is that? A
This
map.
appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework.
What is this?
The
That's a
keyboard
3D
has
printer.
a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
Yeah, it's hee. It's a 3D printer, look.
A radio computer. Just sitting
Oh, no,
here
it's-
without
what?
anyone inside.
He said it was a printer. Oh no, there's a printer attached to it. Okay, fine.
But we are looking for a fridge.
Fair enough.
And we are pressed for time, so...
On the
Fair
other
enough.
hand,
Jeez, oh.
it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers.
Should I turn it
Maybe
on?
the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition of...
Let's turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber,
Should have turned it on.
revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central
What are we looking at?
compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without.
We'll just
its
let the
brood.
body decompose.
Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Stick
Like
it
a
in.
smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press
A
play.
bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum.
Okay,
The sound
what
of
is it?
static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder,
What is it?
slowly filling up the
Oh, there's a
abandoned
voice.
hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
What is it?
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian.
A repeater station.
Station 1.
Uh-huh.
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Yeah, can you tell me any more information about them?
One moment. Fortress Accident
There we go.
SCA produces revolutionary interactive
Call-in radio games.
That's what the catalog says.
So like you'd
That's
have these
not
shows where you'd call in and you'd have play like a little game. Like a sort of greetings traveller sort of thing, you know. That sort of idea. What is this interactive call-in radio
Any
game?
other questions?
She doesn't know what it is. What's the production
the
schedule?
filament you have inserted into the reader.
Alright,
that
thanks.
was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Password. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
A hint system is not
No,
part
no
of the
hints.
protocol for
It's
repeater
about
stations.
games though. There should be a hint. This is the police. Please open this thing.
Contractually obliged to protect the privacy.
Okay,
of
we
the
can't do it without
user
a
of
warrant.
accident. Without filing.
I'm afraid we
Fair
are not
enough.
doing that. Unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way
I don't
of
really care that
turning
much.
up
I don't.
sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
No, it's fine. Thanks.
Tiles
Bye.
on the cube are still smouldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
Okay. We don't really care about that right now. Maybe we'll come back to that at some point, but what's this?
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn
A fireplace?
in blue and red marker. The
There's
mesh
another door.
spreading over the stone like
So many
blood
doors.
vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles.
How do I know what that
Varied
looks like?
history classes, students
History
with
classes.
their
But how do I remember
textbooks
that?
studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the
I
sun.
thought it looked like a map or something.
Radio frequencies.
Ah,
it
okay.
seems.
Frequencies. Radio
UKV
frequency.
123.6. UKV 123.
So these are all radio frequencies for presumably these call-in games.
Sparse and cryptic. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So something medical.
The web is comprised of radio stations.
Yeah, I mean that's...
all lead back to one red heart.
Right, so yeah, this is...
the Game Master frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it
So these are
wants.
stations.
Someone very important.
The Game Master is
The
very
leader of a
important.
massive on-air game built by these people.
Apparently
a
so.
conductor for the hundreds of story threads that
So
pass
different
through
things
the Game
that pass
Master's
through.
frequency.
And who's
Whoever
playing?
decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list
Excellent.
of names under the stations suggests
Windy and
people
Salindi,
across 6 Isolas.
Catlike, Grad, Samara.
Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara.
So people from all over the world.
Mara.
A
All of
multiplayer
this is
game.
gone, left unrealized. There's no way
Apparently
a
so.
little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God.
Oh.
It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious
Yeah.
the project became. The schedule,
It's always interesting, isn't it? You come up with really ambitious plans when you've got no way to deliver them.
running out of funding.
It sounds like some of those, like Kickstarter things that are never going to get off the ground, or the ones that are made by somebody who has no intention of delivering. What
Nothing.
else?
It's just lines on marble.
Sometimes the
An
failure
echo
is
from times long
because
gone.
they
No one
don't get
has
what they
used
want,
the
or because they
fireplace in ages.
don't realise that they don't really know how to do it, and other times, obviously, somebody's just trying to get hold of some quick cash. Certainly early on, I think there was probably more risk of that than there is now, but I definitely recommend watching things like the Kick Scammers series by Slope's Game Room, I think. Also on Guru Larry's channel, I think. There's the polar bear. I see a polar bear. Oh, money. Some magnesium. There's the fridge, but let's leave that for a minute. There's an oven. Furnace of some kind.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, colouring it pitch
Do you think
black.
that this furnace, right, wind blowing through the pipes of this furnace might be the curse she was thinking about?
Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
What's this thing?
Looks
Is it a
like
furnace?
Looks like an
Obviously.
old central furnace used to heat the building. It's
So what's
connected to the
what's heating
chimney.
the building now?
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Let's have a look
It's
inside.
dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter.
Oh,
It's coming from
are we
above.
overhearing
A voice
people's
or
conversations?
several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
Okay.
The echo is so prominent, it's impossible
We don't know
to
what they're saying.
discern what the voices are saying.
Can we climb up
or
inside and
what's
see?
producing them.
What are you doing?
I hear the murderer of the house. I'm not sure. I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
See if someone's upstairs, but we don't know where it goes.
A lush layer of coal.
Let's just get
now
coal all
covers
over our
your
hand.
skin. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of
Oh,
God,
do I?
pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
Let's not do that. No, let's do it. Why
Three
not?
dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul.
Why would
What are you doing?
reincarnation?
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
Yeah, he doesn't like. He's not interested.
You're a proud warrior. Keep it.
I just
Thank
wipe
you.
it clean.
So, Where were we?
Kick the
hollow
furnace.
ring
Why
goes
did I do
through the
that?
furnace.
I've now lost
Your
two
toe
health.
hurts.
I've only got 2 left. What am I going to do about that? The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. What else is down here before we go to this? Before we go to that fridge that's over there. What's that? Strange shadow cast by the flashlight. Oh, there's a doorway. It's hidden, but we can get in it. 2 rusty rifles hidden above the piping, inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
So I see what's in the hole in the wall.
And there also appears to be something inside the hole.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden
Rusty
away.
rifles?
Are these any good?
Most
Let's have a
of
look
them
at
are
them.
rusty and inoperable,
Oh.
like the rest.
I can get a gun.
But one catches your
We can
eye.
get a new gun.
A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
I'll
That's a
take
rare
it.
sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but
No.
still a beautiful thing in its own way.
We can maybe sell it. What is this
Seems
place?
like an old bunker from the
Yeah.
Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles.
Yeah.
Must be
Hidden
weapons
weapons
cache.
for the resistance to...
It means there are
to the government.
firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say.
Might come in useful in the
Might come
future.
in
What,
useful
just
in
as
the
a
future.
threat against somebody?
He likes this find.
Okay, well that's an interesting thing to have found. What's this bit over here? Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Yeah, we saw that. We've got some other stuff over here. What's this? Some kind of safe? Frozen ice cream maker. Okay. More money and oh, a Nosafed. I need that right now. What's this thing?
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness.
Does that go
and
towards the
black
other?
one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Don't rip the red one out. You'll awaken the ghosts.
Right.
Something close to you dies with a soft
Yeah, that's the ice
electric
cream
burn.
maker.
Why did you do that?
I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any
The
reason.
lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
I wonder what the red one's for. There's stairs leading up. I don't want to touch those just yet because we do obviously want to look at this freezer. But oh, a vest! Look, we could be Bruce Willis in Die Hard. It gives us +1 to drama. Presumably, it replaces our shirt, which gives us more in conceptualization, but does take suggestion down by 1. I think we'll just keep what we've got on at the moment, to be honest. Oh, I've got that skill point to spend, haven't I? Is there any way to increase these, or is that just where you're limited to? Is that just all you can do? So there's master machines, pick locks and pockets. Oh, that'd be useful. I say that'd be useful, and then I think to myself, when have I seen a pickable lock? Right, let's go over here. I'm assuming that red cable was to plug into the polar bear fridge, which is here. Now look, open the fridge. Cables.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment.
Terrifying ice bear!
The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
I hope there's not like a polar bear in this
The
fridge.
bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
No, it's a real polar bear with a fridge in its belly. It's a fridgy tubby. I don't know.
A gust of freezing cold
Oh.
air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself.
Oh, good.
This is the inside.
Imagine
of
you had a
refrigerator.
fridge like that in your house. Like a giant polar bear fridge with bright red eyes.
The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax,
Of
Kim,
course.
it's a
A
fridge.
giant ice bear shaped fridge.
Yeah, but it's not going to eat you. Unless
Just
you
what we were
climb
looking
inside.
for. Let's see what's inside.
The shelves are empty.
All
All
empty.
you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers.
Revachol
with
Ice
the
City.
brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door.
What's the
You
note?
pocket the note And the little fridge magnets keep
Oh, we need to
on
look at the
door.
note though. Get me into my inventory for a second. Oh, I can't. You have to look at it afterwards.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious.
It's eccentric. Yeah, no, you're right. It probably is, but you know.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your
Yeah,
vision
you're right.
confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body then?
So when
I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The body.
So when
is
he
heavier than you
goes away at
expected,
night, you know, when he
and
goes to his room,
stinkier.
we can come back
It
and try and get
takes
hold of those
half
boots.
an hour to get it down to the basement. Then 10 more minutes.
10 minutes to
stuff
get it in the
into
door.
fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
I'm not sure I
Of course
believe you.
don't. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare
This does
fridge.
not leave this room.
does
Well,
not
but someone
leave
else
this room.
knows. I'm not proud either, but we did
As
find a
impressive
fridge.
as the fridge is, this is a small victory among numerous defeats.
You're probably right. The biggest defeat
At
being
least
that
we've
we've
stopped
got
the
no way
body
to
from
arrest
decomposing
anyone.
further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside
Yeah.
the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
What's the giant bear-shaped
Good
fridge
question.
doing here anyway?
It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Yeah, and there was an ice cream maker, so tried to
I
sell
know.
ice cream from this.
What an unfortunate marketing choice. What
Now
is
I
even
disconnected
worse,
that other
the bear is still
socket
busting
because it
the
was
nut
going to the ice
to
cream
this day.
machine.
The electricity
Yeah, it's
bill
still
must be
running, that's true.
catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Lucky
It
us.
did,
Indeed.
thankfully.
Refrigerated meat is much better for coroner's work.
Well, let me look at this later. I don't... Let's see if I succeed.
I touched the dead
no.
man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the
I don't know what to
fridge.
do with them.
You still have...
Yeah.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At
So
least he's safe here until then.
let's... I need to put skills into perception. Well, let's come back to this. We're not going to send him away quite yet. But when we go away to our rooms later on, I can probably get... What's that? Did we not look at that? I can probably get... That's another ice cream machine. It's defrosted and unplugged. Can't do anything with any of them. So we'll go out just now. I can come back once he's not there. But we've also got to go and see that guy after the 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, he goes away to his room or whatever. And at that point, we can probably go and try and get those boots. What was that note that we saw? We got the rifle, shot put ball, postcard. That's the handwritten note.
The note is written
Let's see
with
what it
a blue
says.
pencil on a piece of lined
This is
office paper.
cursed.
The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Probably not.
This is tangential at best. But the lieutenant's detective instinct.
Yeah, I mean,
is
we're on a
still active.
tangent, but it might still be interesting.
Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy. is
Off-site
still here.
copy?
The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll
What is
find
it?
the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker.
Oh.
Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Really? You
It's
don't
gotta
have
be
a single
Kuno.
guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know
Yeah,
what to do
probably.
with
You're
it,
probably right.
he'd probably
But
try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
do you know where that frozen
I
ice
don't
cream
know.
maker is?
I assume it's somewhere close to the ice.
We do know where it is.
Didn't you see one right next to the
We
breaker
did.
fence?
We did see that. You are right. It is back in here. Let's go back in here for a minute then. So we turned the. So maybe yeah, we turned the ice cream maker off. So I guess let's go see if it's that one. It is that one. So there's a filament
This orange
memory.
machine is dead still. It has. You
Yeah.
slip your
Open
fingers under the frozen lid, but the eye... No.
Oh, pry
This
bar.
is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar.
Oh,
Don't
well, a
even
regular
try to
pry bar
open
is still
it
going to be
with a
good enough.
regular pry bar. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar.
I need the pry bar in my hand. Let's just have a quick look at that and see if that works. Crowbar. Yeah, that's what we want. Try again.
This orange machine is dead still.
Pry
It
bar is
has
not strong
a
enough.
hand-cranked ice cream churner.
Try anyway.
And the ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed
No.
in there.
So the
pretty
crowbar
well,
is not good enough.
but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending.
Oh no, I'm about to
right
break it.
before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker
Takes
is
an
frozen
advanced
shut.
tool to get it
Takes
open.
An advanced tool to get it open. I have no idea, officer.
Yeah.
This ice cream maker
It isn't, you're right,
important
but
enough
I'd like to know.
requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough.
Possibly, or the
Then
thing might
you know
melt
what's
enough
in
for us
this
to open it.
mysterious ice cream maker. Turning the crank feels oddly
The
satisfying.
crank does nothing, I
like
guess.
stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now.
Okay.
You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
Well, they're not. Okay. That would be a shame, wouldn't it? Right, so what have we got to do now? Because we've discovered the body. So basically, I've got to wait until it gets to 9 PM in the game before I can try and get those boots. That's going to take a while. What have we got in the way of things to do? We need to speak to that guy as well after 9 o'clock. I thought I reported back to her. I did that. We're going to go back and just report back to her. I thought we'd done that. I thought I'd gone and told her what the situation was. I just go wandering around the streets with a crowbar in my hand. I think that's what some people would call going equipped. If you know, you know. Let's see, what can we do here? I'm not trying to sneak up on you. This is the wrong door, but we'll go through it anyway. So we need to find a way to speak to that guy that's upstairs. But we can't do that until the evening. It's kind of annoying. I thought we closed this. Like we spoke to the lady and said that she had nothing to worry about in apartment 10. Just see.
Give me a moment.
Just a real estate agent setting up a new
I see.
place.
I hope some good people are finally going to move.
Yeah, we did this already.
Well,
Hope they're good people.
I hope they're good people.
Your statements are too vague to comment on.
Thanks, I'm off. Does that... One apartment door. So we need to go to Manana and get the key for that. Explore the secret passage. I don't know how to get in there. Track down my badge. Get a reality lowdown. Oh, we could do that. And the call reporting the crime. We still don't know about that. Sing karaoke. We need a tape with a sad song. Call Alice back in a day for info on the act. When did we do that? Tuesday 7:53. So we're not going to be able to do that just yet then. Before the tattoos. Who else would know about the tattoos? Just don't know. Prove my authority to Titus Hardy. Establish authority in their eyes. Get the hangman's boots. Would getting Measurehead to take the body down, would that cover that, do you think? Get the boots. We'll get them eventually. Get the armor pieces. It's going to take a long time. Ask Renee about the... Which one's Renee again? Open the door forever. Send victim's body to processing. We'll do that in a minute once we got the boots. So... what should be our next port of call? That's the wrong one. Shit. I'll have to come back out of that in a minute. What's the next place we can go to? Going on the balcony is no use right now. Go back in. Well, there was a window we could have looked at there. So a lot of the stuff obviously just takes time, you know, to get to get to the next kind of thing. The trouble is sometimes, you know, maybe it feels like it takes a bit too long. Yes, also I was looking, going back to the football thing there, that European Super League, you know, that I see that, as I say, two of the English clubs who were obviously going to go along with it, although it's suggested that maybe they only were going along because they didn't want to be left out. What is this? Is this... What is this? Where do these steps lead then?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the
What is this
upholstery
door?
in place have turned green from sea air. And
We
there's
couldn't do
another
anything with this before.
shaped like a lion's head.
That's probably the door Evrat mentioned. We still need to
We need
get
the key from
the
Manana, that's right.
first, though.
That's right, we need the key from Manana. That's an apartment? He said not to go in. Should we go in though? Or will he know and will we get in trouble for going in? We can do that. And then presumably he says that we'll get our gun back. And I don't know if I believe him. But we'll see. We'll go and get the key off of Manana. What else did we need to do, or did I say that I wanted to do? Oh, we need to speak to those Hardy boys. Not the wrestlers. It's interesting, you know, that they still called them that even when they were, you know, much older.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been
It's alright.
there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path
There we
leading
go.
across open plains.
Okay.
Right. You talk to the boss eye to eye, like men of the plain.
Yeah.
If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everett said you had a key to the
A
door.
Key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Don't know, he said it belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more.
Who's the
I got
weasel?
you. I got that key right here. And let me tell
That's
you,
mighty
it's mighty
good.
good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
Heard something about a weasel, didn't sound like a
Polar
local
weasel?
polar weasel.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure he's actually Occidental, though.
So he's yeah.
So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend.
What?
What you're looking for is a basement door behind
Wait,
the
did I- what?
greenhouse. That's behind the whirling.
Yeah, I know that already.
That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized.
We keep it.
Means
Yeah,
we
okay.
keep-
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me.
The
Nice
janitor.
fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess.
Right.
around. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should
I'm
know?
more of a philosophical dock worker. I like
Yeah,
to talk
but
about the
it
big
would be
picture
helpful
stuff.
if I knew when he was
Who
in.
I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause
Yeah,
he doesn't
okay,
know.
fair enough.
But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who
Will he?
is, and what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
This
Nothing
is
about the
interesting.
Hardy
Los
boys.
Hardys? They're an independent
Too
military
high
group.
strung. Nobody likes
A
them.
bit too high strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Why
We're
are you striking?
negotiating our share. Aye,
Your share. How large a
all
share?
of it. However, right now we want
They
all
want it
the harbor
all.
workers to be
We
on the company's
want it
board,
all.
so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Okay.
This seditious talk sounds like
Is it-
communism.
Can you get all of them
Just
on?
so we're on the same page. Communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people.
That's
or
not-
deporting them
that's
to a
not
labor
what it
camp
is.
in southeast Grad. But don't say that.
Maybe it is in this. Maybe it is in this world, but
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that
yeah,
you've met him.
he's not going to tell me too much about that, is
In
he?
my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does he need? What does he do
Guess
anyway?
You kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees
just
the harbor,
looks
makes
after the
deals with
place.
owners,
He can
or
lock
the
it down
relevant
and not
parties.
let the company
What's
get
it
in.
all for his own?
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens,
Not
why would he not
necessarily.
be corrupt?
Why would
We
he
live in a
not be
harsh and
corrupt?
disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we
Yeah.
know it. Appreciate it even. He is personally not too lavish.
His
He
desk
is
seems
reasonably
lavish.
sure.
But to be fair, he's living in a packing crate.
Not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would
So,
be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are
might
no
be.
non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This
You're
man
probably right.
has political theory.
Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
Do I? Who killed the guy?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
He was hanged
What
with a
a
specific
thought.
cargo belt.
Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were
Unless they were pushed.
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
What
He
does
was
that
an
mean?
agent of the opposition.
Yeah, okay, I mean, I get
Attempting to
that,
undermine
but...
our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me.
But I'm starting to
Large
wonder how much
organizations
of their
like our
story's
union have
true.
all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Oh, I'm sure that he has
This has
nothing to
been
do
of
with it.
limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. Right, so we've got the key for that door. Let me just... I wonder... What happens if I...
To work!
Are you a mercenary? How about Wild Pines? Is there a tribunal being convened?
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal.
Won't be long until it's ready.
Long until it's ready.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above.
Yeah, there's another mercenary somewhere. We don't know where.
Don't push this.
Yeah,
The
no, I'm
man's
not going to.
breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow.
Yeah. There must be some way we can get people to realise that he's not. Let's talk to this idiot again and see what he's got to say.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Yeah, if I could, I would. See you later, dickhead. What else could we do? So we've still got time. He's probably not going to talk to us anymore, which is not really surprising. We could sell some stuff in this shop down here. What's in there? Anything useful? Fingerless gloves. Good for electrochemistry, apparently. Who's that guy? Waterlock out of order. Who's this guy? What's that?
A couple of indicator
That's the
lights are missing
waterlock.
from this control panel. Loose wires dangle. This panel usually closes the water lock,
Okay.
turning it into a bridge that lets
There's
you
a
cross the
Samaran
canal.
butter sign that's
But
fallen
there's
in
a
the way.
crashed Samaran butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Let's try.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then nothing happens.
Yeah, never mind
The
then.
spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close
So
the
eventually we
lever
probably
to
have to get
the
across there,
canal.
but
Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality?
Wednesday morning. Day is it? Don't know. What day did he start on?
A
Good day.
burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami
He's-
with an
yeah.
old hunter's knife.
Just sitting there,
His eyes
whittling
fixed
salami.
on a man
No,
stranded
not whittling.
on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down.
Do you know what knocked that down?
But those look like tire tracks.
What, somebody...
Weird, huh?
Oh, that's why they said there were tire tracks leading to the roof.
In Rivershell.
Somebody's obviously been looking for a way out, so they've created a ramp.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also
Wait.
takes a year and a day to repair anything.
Is it him?
Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know what's further down the
There's
coast?
the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro,
Bizarro church.
Not much use to the congregation though.
There's always something wrong with it.
Yeah, not really much else.
What, you mean it's shut all the time? Probably for some secretive reasons. So I'm just going to grab a little biscuit. Can I have a bit of your... That sounds a bit dodgy.
Sure thing.
It is salty.
Thanks, pal.
It is savoury. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the
Needs a bit of salami, yeah, good.
more tasty.
You look... Wait. You were drinking 2 days ago and you still got a hangover?
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Oh, he's going to have a wee bit. So that's the lever. We know what that lever does. It should open that or close that, but it doesn't because it's broken. Now let's go in here. I want to try and sell some of the stuff that we've got that we don't really need. Sorry, I'm trying not to be too loud. Right, pal, got some stuff to sell you.
Hello again. How can I help you?
I don't want to know if he's... Well, how much does the commemorative pin cost? Wait, let's sell some other stuff first.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
He pawned his gun!
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before.
Oh God. Oh, I didn't realise I needed to do that.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
I sold you my gun.
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I
You
don't
shouldn't have
like
bloody
keeping
bought it off
guns
me,
around
bloody
the
hell.
shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer. You were
Yeah,
very
what was it like?
distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And
Okay.
that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you
The
put
bloody
the gun
hell?
barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
15, that's
the
all.
lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes
But then,
this tableau might
that
still
guy
turn
said
out
he
to
knew
be
what it was.
A bad dream. It's not though. This has got to be the most. Wow.
Don't suppose I
there's
sold you my
pity
badge
in
either,
it,
did I?
In case you didn't notice.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a
She didn't
policeman?
seem like a policeman.
Referred to
Although
herself
she
as a
kept referring
pig.
to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit
Here, it's not that.
obsessive, but
It's
I
not
was
Kuno's
just
friend,
happy
is it?
to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
It's a drug dealing person.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is
Apparently
running
he
around
did.
the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously. His face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You should blame
You're
us
right,
for
the
committing a
chief cast
crime.
aspersions on the force. We have to find out.
Yes, we do. Sure, I can find the
My
buyer.
apologies, officer. But
I think
have
she's
no
the one.
idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope.
Yeah, let's hope that he.
Everard wasn't
Yeah, maybe,
lying,
but
and the
Maybe.
did he come by?
Shady-looking guys came
No,
in
look.
here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their wild palms.
Yeah, I mean they're looking
overalls.
into who it was.
They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people.
I'm sure they
come
do.
Here, asking for all sorts of things.
And no doubt he gives them a lot less than it's worth.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
people as
Maybe.
indigenous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being true.
Anyway, let's talk about something else. How do I sell stuff? How do you sell stuff again? Something I'd like to
Sure.
sell. Yeah.
Let me have a look.
I'll check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Right, what can I sell? Kind grenade pen, you can have that. What do I do with it again? I can use a controller with this game. Oh. You can have that. I'm not going to sell his handkerchief. He might not be too happy if I do that. I can sell that. That I think I need. Photo of a happy couple. Sell that. It's not ours, so And there's another postcard. I feel like I should make good use of it. 4-shot bolt out. He doesn't like buying guns, he said, remember? Okay. Close that.
Another time, perhaps. Yes. Fortunately, I still have it. 3:30 and it's yours.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy it.
Here you go, officer.
We can give that back to the
Anything
woman.
else I can do for you today?
No, that's it. Bye for now. We can bring it back to the lady in the whirling rags. I think that's a good thing to do. Bring her back her pin that she gave us for, so that we could get some money. We don't need the money anymore, so. No, I mean we kind of do, but it's not important at the moment. Who's the guy? Wait. Aye, maybe a sea monster did do it, yeah. Probably not, the way. Is it these guys? Is it one of these guys playing pétanque? I don't know. That's Gaston.
Yes, that's
Renee's the one, isn't it?
Renee, it's
Yeah.
little pleasures. Life doesn't need to.
I sold his picture.
Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
What do you know about the dead guy?
I heard someone.
Oh, never mind.
Course,
Okay,
officer.
bye for now. I just realised I sold that picture.
Watch out, Gaston. It's Inspector Off.
Oh, yeah, I
Throw
can.
more of our stuff into the sea.
See,
There you go.
I told you he was one.
We can
of
give him the shot put ball.
You should have more face.
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
Now,
Yeah, sure.
No need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
I didn't try. I'm sorry, it's the best I could
huh?
find.
This isn't even a bull.
Yeah, I found
That's
something.
fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven.
I found your
Yes,
guard booth.
The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night.
He's not going to like it when he finds out that his
Without any
photograph's
political
missing, though, is he?
allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night
You know-
anyway, and money is tight.
Here, if I played this with a controller, does it make anything?
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yeah, there can. You must have seen something on the night of the murder, surely, because you look
Yes, it
right over
does.
the thing.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
I
he was
wasn't
off.
working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Who was working
No
that
one.
shift?
The boss has been on man since last Monday.
No other guard.
There's
Okay.
no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been.
So no
guarding
one's
the
been
container
looking.
yard since last Monday.
Yes.
It's not an issue.
Look, officer.
No one goes in there.
The container yard doesn't actually
All right,
have
okay.
a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built
Mostly
specially
decorative.
for him. It's mostly decorative.
The
Mostly?
possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage
Right,
any
okay. Yeah,
ill-minded
but surely the people
individuals.
locally know that there's no one in there, right?
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers pension of
Okay.
honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tail
Yeah.
reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Nothing wrong with tear collecting. I do
Oh,
it sometimes as
I
well.
didn't mean to imply there's something wrong. with
Everyone
it.
does it.
Yes, yes, yes.
He is not
Yeah, okay.
going to become an entrepreneur.
Yes, yes.
Bye for now.
Like
That wasn't something particularly interesting. Okay, so I can control my walk-in with the controller. That actually might be better. How do I get the menus up? That's the save menu. Alright, okay, so it's left trigger and right trigger after pressing X. That might be quite good. That might make it a little easier to do some stuff. That's the commemorative pin. We're going to give that back. Close the water lock on Wednesday. Send body to processing. Smoker on the balcony. Still need to work out who reported the crime. We've got other things we need to work out too, but... So how do you do those things when you're... Oh, okay. Man from Helmdall and the Wildfire. Exciting. Let's go and give that lady back her thing. So use the right stick to kind of mark the thing in the direction that you're looking. I see. Just with a controller, it just makes it, well, not necessarily easier, but... Chat to her. Just a moment.
No public phones nearby.
The closest phone booth is
Oh
down the
no.
coast. Sorry for the inconvenience.
She can't get across.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good day, everything alright?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie.
She was hoping to make a
I
call.
was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead
Gary's
too.
phone.
The manager
phone
was
line.
vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone?
Yeah, what's wrong with the phone?
This is something
Well, it's not working just now.
Ask God,
He's maybe waiting for a call. I bet you it's the girl that we spoke to on the phone.
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. I was
Okay.
also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
The little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Has he gone missing before?
This isn't
Quite like
him
all these
at
other
all.
possible
He
investigations.
always plans his expeditions so carefully. But
And
you
where was
have
he
more
going?
important things to worry about.
Well, what was he doing?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is
Highly
a
trained scientist.
He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of
I'm
insect.
looking at
But
insects.
they should have returned by now.
Maybe they're
We're
dead.
Just going down the coast across the water.
Right, we can't do
lot
anything
to
about
set
that just now, can we?
traps. He said they'd be back
Well,
on
it could be that the
Monday.
water lock's shut.
What could be keeping them?
The water lock that was broken. Could this be it?
Who's
Oh,
Gary?
Sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as
Oh,
they
okay.
come. I trust him
Gary's
with
a
my
good guy,
husband's
apparently.
life any day. Oh my! What happened to the water lock?
I really
Well,
don't know.
Whatever the cause, I'm thankful.
Is
To
that
both of you.
we solved the case
There'll
before
be
we
another
actually started it?
sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes
Yeah, I'll
you to
keep
the
an eye
other
out for him.
side of the coast, please do keep an eye
We'll
out
watch
for
out
my
for him, why
husband.
not?
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery.
That's what we
with
want.
That extremely rare insect. Yes,
Possibly.
some left field scientific research is exactly what you need right now.
Yay.
Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And
Let's
if
do
you
that.
see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired.
Yeah, okay, I'll let him
You're
know.
Such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
By the way, about your
You were
pin.
able to pawn that old trinket. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you,
back
dear.
now.
I confess I am glad to see it again. Very
No
good.
worries.
The lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
It's all for now. Just wanted to give you that. We've got a skill point we can use. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do interfacing, wasn't I? So let's put that up to the maximum it can be. It's now at 5. Which is good. What else did we have to do? We have to work out a way to get in that door. Why can't I? Wait a minute. Okay, there are some things it looks like a controller can't help me with, or I don't know. It's asking what's wrong with the phones.
Can I help you?
About my bill
You're
for
already
tonight.
set for the night. Your door is unlocked.
Alright, no, that's nothing. Okay, so what else can we do? What else can we do? We've got a few more minutes. So what else can we do? What else can we look at? Do 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 da 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 do 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 do. Let's have a look. No, wrong. Okay, so we need to meet him after 9. Explore secret passages we can't do. Track down my badge, don't know where it could be. Reality lowdown, speak to Joyce, we could do that. Search for the person who made the call. That's interesting, the phone's not working. Sing karaoke. We need to find the tape. We still need to call back. Oh, we need to call back the next day about the armor. Ask around about the tattoos. Talk to Titus. Establish authority. Get the hangman's boots. That's after he's gone away. Ask Renee about the photo. I can't because I bloody sold it. So, yeah. Open the apartment door. Send the body for processing. Close the water lock. Find Morel, but we can't do that until we close the water lock. Right, let's go and open this door. We could ask that lady about more questions about reality. Maybe just a couple before we do that. Still got plenty of time in the game itself. We'll ask her, like, I don't know, one question about it. So I might do as well. By the way, talk to Claire. Oh, let's see if she knows about the tattoos.
She reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand for about half a minute in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Let's just watch what she's doing.
Relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the word interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story.
Oh, it's a story?
The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells
missions
you what they
or like blooms?
Port cities. This is an Oronese map
Oh.
of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century.
That's interesting.
Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the
sailor's
use of it?
soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad.
Right.
This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by.
So it's like a tradition kind of thing.
Call it.
Where is he now?
This one's going nowhere but the morgue. Travels did he make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near
I see,
here,
so that's...
I think.
Okay.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande.
So this is her talking us through where he's been.
An artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean. First the Semines Islands, then this.
What is it?
Revachol.
It's a
Those
Revachol.
are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder,
Alright,
and
okay.
Revachol in the heart.
I
They
see.
started the tradition of these.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
Yeah.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor.
Ah, right. So it's not a.
I can understand
Yeah.
geographic fragments, but not their meaning. Is there anything?
There may not
else
be
I
any
can help you
necessary reason for it, but more questions about
lessons in
reality.
this reality?
Yeah, that's right.
These
What times
are
are these?
Unimportant times, detective.
Mm.
You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
The big time. The
Okay.
revolution.
What is the revolution?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head?
That was from the
and who
start,
gets
right?
the
It's kind
mineral
of a
rights.
callback.
It's a
I suppose you
real
could call it a callback to the beginning of the game, right? About apes
Why, of
duking it out.
course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intra-species warfare.
The apes were the evil?
I would say the apes were neutral.
Sounds like evil to me.
On the other hand, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Who got shot?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot
Nasty.
in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists,
Not what we wanted to hear.
they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets
Oh, I
they
see.
even existed. Did they
shoot
ever?
back?
Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
That's a tragedy.
The Red Deluge.
I mean, you know,
The
whatever way you
Insulindian
look at it
deluge,
is.
they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head. Or
So there you go,
thrown
lots of
off a
people
horse,
got.
or
So
drowned. Accounts differ.
in this world, obviously,
It
they're saying
was
that the king.
unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king.
The king got
just the king's nephew.
involved
The
in
real
the
king
actual fighting.
abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly
I prefer
king.
the term risk-averse.
Yeah, risk-averse, cowardly.
Leon was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster
No.
brewing, so he got out alive.
There was a PR
His nephew
disaster.
Giselle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she totally.
It was a wild time.
Yeah, you could say that. Who got the mineral rights?
Got the mineral rights, and by mineral rights, I mean everything.
And by liberals, you mean?
Are usually middle-class people, detective, or the
remaining
remaining
gentry.
The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement.
Sure.
Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy.
Right.
Didn't
How did they
win
win?
So much as survive.
They
We were the
survived.
last-
That's all.
She's one of them. Of course.
Who was there to
foreign
surrender to?
intervention, the coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Who are the coalition?
Of nations. Grad,
We'll learn a bit about that, and then we'll move on to opening
Messina,
that door.
Oranje.
In fact,
There
we
was
don't.
bitterness in her voice, tempered with
It's a
understanding.
moralist thing to do.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way
It doesn't
it
really
is.
matter all the stuff
They
we're
believe
discussing
in
with her, but we'll do it
mineral
anyway,
rights
because
and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now. The coalition
sorry, I
government.
singing little advertising jingles from. Sorry, I caught that just in time. I continue.
This is their zone of control. They embolden
I
the
see.
RCM with crumbs of the same.
So I'm a
later.
moralist, they're saying.
Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Oh,
The
lovely.
colour of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not at peace.
A
Let's go with that
devout
one.
man of the centre.
Uh-huh.
Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to head shooting. In your
Head
line of work,
shooting?
I mean. The turn
When
of
was the
century
kerfuffle?
revolution. Don't answer it.
Don't be
It's a trick question.
condescending.
The revolution began in 02 on the Isla of Grad.
So it wasn't
so by the end, nearly the
exactly
whole
at the turn of
world
the century, then, was it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of
Alright, an
Sarat,
illness.
a particularly virulent prion disease.
Prion, a
which the
prion
authorities in
disease.
Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What does it
Made
do?
people overthrow their governments. Indeed.
Sounds like a convenient
Sarat
excuse,
was a
doesn't it?
highly
Oh no,
infectious
people aren't well.
that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution
Yeah.
were material. The pandemic only provided
Yeah,
the spark.
yeah, that one sounds like it might have been, you know, that one. And the fact that it's suggesting that all these people had turned to different ideas of governance because of an
Revachol
illness
and Grad? Not far.
might not be totally
The
true.
world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in 08.
Isn't that
and
interesting?
The coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit convenient.
Why? You and I, officer.
Something
okay.
tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
would
because
imagine.
she has a boat and you have that.
Yeah, what happened to everywhere else?
They developed the marvels of the inter-easlary communication.
Right, and we did bugger all. Is that what you're saying?
Radiation, coloured plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51
Fair enough.
minus 8 equals 43.
You're saying it's been like this for 43 years. And what have you been
The
doing?
20s saw a decade of urban war.
Urban
West
war.
of the river levelled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
After
The
that?
30s, things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
And they discovered
Yes.
disco.
And quantitative easing.
Disco and
It
quantitative
was a
easing.
market
One of those
mirage,
things is not like the
unfortunately.
other.
The 40s dispelled it. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. Welcome to reality. baby.
From the
Well,
looks
that's the
of
task
it,
complete.
The Fifthers haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
Don't seem
I've
too
no right
thrilled.
to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova.
Who's that?
This raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years.
Some posh
My
fashion
daughters will
designer,
wear
no
it.
doubt.
No, it's just we could have had so much more.
Could have had more.
Every one of us. If only we played it right.
That's
They
enough
are what
about
they
the
are.
times.
Who knows? Anyway, enough sentimentality.
Reach for
Is
something
there anything else you want to know?
Think of something close to me. Let's try this.
It remains
Failure.
a mystery what you mean by this something close.
That's all for
Might
now.
have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Thank you. Bye. What's this?
Jamais vu.
We completed it.
Derealization.
We completed
Jamais
derealization.
vu, the opposite of deja vu.
All intellect learning caps raised by 1. Oh, good. So now we have more ability to increase the top section. We can now, I mean, essentially 5, 6, 7, 8. You could get logic up to 11, for example, based on that if you wanted to. Well, that's a useful thing to learn. What we need to do now is we're going to open this door. That's the girl that with Kuno. I was like, who's that? Oh yeah. No, where are you going? I think I need to save. Right, let's just save. First of all, I'm going to open this door. It seems like with a controller I can't get that door open.
This
so.
must be it. The base
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
I've already
Royal
got it.
Lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some.
Let's have a
The leather
listen.
upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement.
Okay.
In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. You
Unlock
try
the
to
door.
be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of
Okay.
rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door
So we've unlocked the
unlocks
door.
with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully no one heard. There's
Hopefully.
nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable
reason
for you
to intrude.
on the premises. Only curiosity could account
Yeah.
for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's
Maybe
treasure.
there
in
is treasure.
A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. There might be important information in the
There might be.
I mean, there might.
There might. What I'm going to do, I'm going to save the game. We're going to try going in.
Master Investigator. You
Master
just can't keep
Investigator.
yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy,
you know,
the world's secrets were made for
the
you.
Jamrock
They
Shuffle.
wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And having saved it, we're going to go in. Sorry, I'm got a runny nose. We're going to go in. I know he told us not to, but we're going to go in. We're going to make the last thing we do a wee investigation of this person's house. What's this? I know he said not to go in. I don't really care.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf.
Tap
A
the
little
mugs.
ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner
What do you
of
mean by
these
uncomfortable?
mugs doesn't like people of other
Oh, right, I
ethnicities
get it. So
very
he's
much.
okay.
Anytime the
So-
lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Let's move on from the mugs. Is there anything
A row
amongst?
of mugs.
Move on from the mugs. So there's nothing I can do with them. Smell of disinfectant
What's
in the room.
this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. Must have been
Discard
foresight.
that thought. Discard that thought. It's bullshit. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Enter ancillary dress shirt ticket. I don't think that's what they're going to be looking for somehow. Feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the
isn't
sun?
just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
Is it? What's
it's
that?
An optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Fair enough. Look, the old flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
It's not bound to that flag.
It's just
it doesn't care. Obviously. See, that's the thing. Flags don't care.
Feudal flags.
Why do you?
It looks like a children's drawing.
Flags don't care, so why do you? What is this? Oh, just some magnesium. Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over? There's nothing in here. There's not absolutely nothing inside here. Let's just leave. Here's where we go out and we get bloody accosted by a group of people. I think. What do you think? They'd be like, oh, we told you not to go in. Did you? No, we're alright. And that, I need to find some health, some medical items, but that doesn't matter. That, for tonight, is going to be where we finish. So thank you very much for dropping by. Dropping by and watching a bit of Disco Elysium. And, is this frozen? I ask because my webcam's frozen. One sec. My webcam's frozen. One sec. Ah, gosh, god damn it. 1 minute, let me just fix something. And activate. Hello, I'm back. Not that it matters because we're just finishing, but hello, I'm back. Yeah, so we'll finish up with Disco Elysium for tonight. I'll be back to this in a couple of days, I'm sure. Tomorrow night, we'll be doing a watch party with an episode of Highlander and the next film in my watch list. Or I could just select a random film in the watch list. But I'm not using that randomizer thing because it's easier to just kind of go through the list. We've got lots of films in it anyway. And I would like to watch all of them at some point, whether on stream or off. So we can just pick one and go. But that's tomorrow, and after that we'll go back to Relicta on Thursday, and this I expect on Friday. Saturday, possibly Relicta, possibly something else. We still need to finish Scanner Somber as well. We'll maybe do that one night soon. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I am going to finish up. So, good night.